Austin, Texas is one of the biggest little cities in the country. And downtown Austin is in the middle of a transformation that touches retail, hospitality, and office, probably more than that I'm not even thinking of, all at once. So today we're talking with Davon Barbour, President and CEO of the Downtown Austin Alliance, about what's happening and where downtown Austin is headed. Live from Las Vegas, it's Where We Buy. That's right, you're listening to Where We Buy. It's the show where we talk with retail experts and we visit the places where we buy. My name is James Cook. I research retail and real estate for JLL. And today we're recording live from the JLL booth at ICSC Las Vegas. Welcome, Davon.
Thanks so much, James.
So, Davon, I could see you looking at me when I said biggest little city. So did I get that wrong?
I'm going to push back just a little bit. We are a booming city. We are a growing city. In fact, just 1 week ago, the U.S. Census Bureau released some estimates showing that we've now surpassed the 1 million in population mark. So we're now the 12th largest city in the country.
Okay, so anything that's the 12th largest can't be a little anything.
No, not at all.
So I take it all back, and I'm glad you fact-checked me on that because I really appreciate it. Okay, so not only is it the 12th biggest city in the U.S., it ranks pretty highly in job growth. I would imagine that's good for you, but there's probably also challenging. Like, what are the pluses and minuses of all of that job growth?
Yeah, it's interesting. Most people, when they think of Austin, Texas, we're the live music capital of the world. And so Austin has a brand that's very unique and authentic. And I would say, one of the challenges that we have candidly in terms of managing this growth is preserving what makes Austin so unique. We've got significant public infrastructure projects underway to manage this growth. We've got a new highway expansion underway within our downtown, a new light rail system that starts construction next year. We've got major streetscape projects. And so ensuring that we're minimizing any disruption to retailers, restaurateurs that are operating in our business as we manage this growth. So that's been a big challenge for us as well as an opportunity.
That's so much going on. I want to ask you more about this light rail.
Oh, yeah. No, we've got a new light rail system coming online. It's about 10-mile project. The second largest, I shouldn't say second largest, but we were actually one of the first cities to go through the environmental review process with the feds pretty quickly within a 2-year process. And so this is an important project to ignite new development within Austin. Again, expanding mobility options for our community, as well as supporting new retail growth in our community. So we're excited. We start construction next year. Pre-development activities are well underway. And so it's an exciting moment for our community.
So is it going to connect, say, downtown with some of the, kind of what's the route look like?
Yeah, it'll connect through University, UT, Texas. Many people know UT, all through neighborhoods as well. And then the final stretch that we're working on is the financing to connect to the airport. I would say that's the golden ticket. So we're well into achieving that goal. Yeah,
this is neither here nor there, but I think Austin is one of my favorite airports. They have for real barbecue in the airport.
Yep.
Very impressive. Also live music. I didn't mean to turn it into the airport podcast, but Austin has an amazing airport. So another thing that people think of when they think of Austin are all of the major, globally known events. South by Southwest is a big one. The Austin City Limits Music Festival. There's probably more that I'm not thinking of. How much of that impacts you in downtown Austin?
Oh, certainly downtown Austin. We're the front door. We're host to many of these events. We have over 2,500 concerts, 2,300 performing festivals within downtown. And so it very much impacts the work that we do in downtown. There are over 40 million visitors that enter downtown Austin on an annual basis. Those visitors really drive food and beverage sales in our community. In fact, 40% of food and beverage sales are derived from visitors within our downtown. And so as an organization, we're deploying cleaning services, we're providing hospitality services, business check-ins. And so those visitors are absolutely crucial to our economy, taking part in live music in our community.
So Downtown Austin Alliance, it's not just like economic development, but you actually provide services to downtown?
We do. We're a public improvement district. And so we represent the interests of over 1,200 property owners within our downtown. We deploy enhanced public safety measures, cleaning within downtown, economic development as well, which is why we're here at the ICSC show, meeting with prospective tenants, showcasing opportunities within our community. But again, telling the story of downtown and why it's so vibrant. I'll just give one example of how we support, some retailers in our community or even real estate developers and brokers. We roll out a program called our Red Carpet Service Program. And so essentially, what would happen is, as a property owner, you call us up, we'll deploy enhanced security, enhanced cleaning measures to help you close that deal. And so it's really a force multiplier, flooding the zone. Since we launched the program 6 months ago, we've had over 150 requests. And so it's been really crucial in helping to close deals in our downtown.
Austin, there's a lot of new development, right? So we can't list them all. Mm-hmm. We need a much longer series of podcasts to do that. But what are kind of the major new developments kind of in construction or on the horizon in downtown?
Yeah, I think certainly one of the largest projects is our new convention center. So we demolished our former convention center. It is now, the new convention center is under construction. It will double in size. It will be the first net zero carbon neutral convention center in the world. So it's about a $1.6 billion project that really integrates into the community. You talked about some of the local barbecue and musicians. You'll have that same feeling as well in the convention center. That's so important to us, and that's a thoughtful approach that we take, integrating the music and the culture into new development that takes place within downtown. I talked about the new light rail system, but there's also redevelopment of existing properties as well. Within our downtown, many people, I think, when they come to Austin, they know 6th Street and, they take part in, the
Yep.
nightlife and
I've been
the bars and the food. We're actually working with Stream Realty on a project to really enhance the corridor. And so Stream Realty has acquired about 35 to 40 properties, working on re-tenanting, bringing in restaurants, more local operators. We as an organization have been deploying artwork to support those efforts. And so I think when people come to visit Austin, they're going to be really excited about the changes. Seeing the new convention center, the new East 6th Street within the heart of the entertainment district. So there's a lot underway in terms of new and old, again, but also at the same time lifting up what makes Austin so unique.
Wow, 6th Street is one of those places that really everybody goes to for all the live music, and it's a pretty lively district. Can you talk a little bit more about what it's going to look like when all that's done?
Yeah, one of the biggest, I would say, measures to really transform the corridor are streetscape improvements. And so we've been working very closely with the city of Austin to deploy a new streetscape project. Widened sidewalks, new lights, landscaping, curb appeal matters. And so we think that's really important to prime the pump. It instills confidence to investors, to new restaurateurs, to new retailers coming in within downtown. So very excited about that. Another example of that type of work underway is currently underway right now on Congress Avenue, which is arguably Texas's Main Street. It leads up to the state capitol. And so if someone were to come visit Austin right now, you would see construction work underway. Widened sidewalks, new lighting, landscaping. Again, all this is all done in support to support new retailers and operators coming into our community.
So you're pretty involved with ICSC. Like you're a mover and shaker. Which means you're probably more connected with retailers than I would say most people in your position in other cities. What's your main goal? Are there new types of retail you'd like to attract? Because downtown Austin's got a lot already, but what are the blanks that you might want to try to fill?
Yeah, it's an important question. We think a lot about the merchandise mix in downtown.
Oh, yeah.
And so, as I noted before, tourism is a big driver of sales within our downtown. One of the things that I love about Austin is it's urban meets nature. People love coming to Austin, of course, for the music, for the entertainment, but also for the outdoors. And so I think a lot about this might sound, simple, but, when there's inclement weather, what does someone do if they're not taking part in outdoors? And so given the fact that technology is so ingrained in Austin as well, AI and other new emerging technologies, I think about, immersive experiences within our downtown. We've got a new immersive golf experience that will be opening within the heart of our downtown. I think there are opportunities for experiential retail within our downtown to build upon that. In fact, one of the co-creators of Meow Wolf is opening the world's first immersive art bathhouse in Austin. Again, bringing technology, wellness, fitness together in one space. And so we're looking to find more experiences like that to complement our mix. Again, when people take part in the music, that's just one part of the journey, but there's the before and the after experience. When you're going to a concert, you want to grab dinner beforehand. You want to, grab a drink. And so having those food and beverage operators to complete that experience is so important.
I'm a big fan of Meow Wolf. We've had them on the show a few times. I have heard this bathhouse immersive thing, but I don't know much about it yet. I haven't dug into it. Do you know many details about it?
I've seen a couple of images. I think it's really, really exciting. Again, it taps into the technology, which is so core to Austin. Many people know Austin for technology as well. The art that's part of Austin as well. So I'm certainly looking forward to the experience. We're proud to have it, part of the downtown experience as well.
I think it's one of those things that you're probably going to not really understand it till you see it in person. Okay, so technology. It's so interesting how Austin has just taken on this technology over the past decade or two. So many firms are have growing offices there. What's your involvement with the local tech community? I guess, my first question is, do a lot of them have offices in downtown, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You've got Google, we've got Meta. Texas Instruments recently acquired a company. They're now moving into downtown Austin. So absolutely.
And are those tech companies involved with your organization? Do they hey, we want to do this and that with downtown?
Yeah, I would say for the most part, in terms of our involvement as an organization, it's really providing a compelling business destination. And so much of our services, it's deploying the core services to support corporate growth workers in our downtown, ensuring downtown's clean, it's safe, it's hospitable. We produce a number of events as well within our downtown. One example, we launched a program recently called Live from Downtown Texas. It's a concert series that we deploy at office buildings, to create this fear of missing out for workers. We want to bring them back into downtown. Those have been housed at buildings where we have a number of technology companies. So again, our role is really creating this compelling destination for workers and for those companies.
So a big part of your job is placemaking.
Absolutely.
And so part of that is music. Part of that is the streetscape that you talked about. And you talked about art. Is there more to it with placemaking? What's it all about?
Yeah, I think placemaking is important. We think about it in a very meticulous manner. Again, making sure as Austin grows, how do we bring our citizens, our artists, our musicians along the way? And so whether it's incorporating artists and, from a programming standpoint, if there's a new hotel online, are we engaging musicians to play music, to sing, in the lobby of the building, activating the plazas within that park space, turning, infrastructure into artwork. We engage a lot of artists as well in streetscape projects. For example, painting utility boxes, deploying murals all throughout downtown. It's important that people are excited that they have an emotional connection in a downtown. That's what makes downtown so cool.
Do tourists, do they often stay downtown when they come?
They do. Yeah. Tourists absolutely stay within downtown. We're the heart, the central focus for visitors when they come into downtown. So whether someone's coming in for the ACL Music Fest or F1, their journey begins in downtown. That's where the largest concentration of our hotel rooms are located. We've got more hotels in the pipeline. 3 are under construction right now within our downtown.
Jeez.
In just a couple of days, one hotel will open in what will now be what's called the Waterline, Texas's tallest tower.
Wow.
So,
that's amazing. I don't even know how you keep track of it all. I know you have a research function within your organization, right?
We do. In fact, just a week ago, we had our Future of Downtown event, which is we call it State of the Union. And so we release our State of the Downtown report. So we report out on the health of the economy, real estate market performance, retail, hospitality, office, foot traffic, and the like. So that is, again, I would say research is so important to us in terms of moving the needle from a public policy standpoint, helping us guide our marketing initiatives, as well as deploying new programs.
So you have this big Future of Downtown event. What was everybody talking about? What was kind of the buzz there?
Yeah, the theme of the event was Let's Go.
Okay.
It's, again, we've got all these catalytic projects underway. Let's harness this moment right now. We are a city that's not managing decline, but managing growth and really pulling all sectors of the community together to continue the positive momentum. And so I think by all accounts, it was a big success. I've heard from business leaders, civic leaders, everyone's excited. They left motivated. Again, when we see like within the development cycle, yes, many developers are waiting for larger macroeconomic conditions to improve. There remains a lot of interest in downtown Austin. I meet with developers, investors all the time. We have 9 million square feet of space in the development pipeline right now. And so I know many of these investors are just waiting for clarity around interest rates, for construction costs to come down, for us to continue, removing some of the regulatory barriers. So it's an exciting time for downtown Austin.
That's really cool. Okay, so the theme is let's go.
Mm-hmm.
But in order to go, everybody's got to be running in the same direction, right? And I'm sure different people have different priorities. So how do you balance that out? How do you manage, and get kind of everybody moving in one direction?
Yeah, we're fortunate as an organization. I think we do a great job of convening and partnering. I think, collaboration is at the core of everything that we do. In fact, here at the show, we're partnering with our Chamber of Commerce, with our Real Estate Council, with our Tourism Bureau, as well as the city and our transportation partners. We all understand that we're growing as a community and that we have to work together. So it's very much a collaborative manner in everything that we do.
Gotcha. So a big focus of our show is retail and food and beverage. So I'm going to dive into that a little bit more. I know you sort of covered it, but I want to dig in a little bit more. Let's start with retail. How would you characterize the retail in downtown?
Yeah, I think, downtown Austin has a unique blend of local, national, as well as regional operators within our downtown. Certainly, we pride ourselves on the fact that it's authentic and a strong concentration of these local operators. I find that, in doing this work, I've worked with many communities across the country. Sometimes there's this tension between nationals and locals. I think you can have both. We think about having a retail mix and food and beverage offering that serves multiple price points, multiple demographics, and I think we've succeeded that. When I think about the future of our downtown, particularly from the food and beverage scene, there's definitely a need for us at the show where we talk about is bringing in more affordable food options. That's something that I hear loud and clear from many young professionals within downtown, so that's going to be a big focus for us in downtown. We have a number of local operators that are expanding food and beverage concepts within our downtown, again, just reinforcing that local experience and even partnering with big names. Justin Timberlake will be opening 1230 Club, which is a supper club within our downtown, moving into a former historic historic post office building. So it'll be a new supper club. Basketball star Kevin Durant partnering with a local restaurant hospitality group to do an upscale sports bar and restaurant concept there as well. And so there's more like that underway. So food and beverage, people love us for our barbecue. That will always be a mainstay of our downtown. So we've got a pretty good, vibrant offering.
So you're pretty new to Austin, right? You've taken on this role pretty recently.
Yeah, I've been in the role about 1 year now.
Okay. So what did you think about Austin before you started working for downtown Austin that turned out to be a myth? Like, what was a surprise to you that didn't turn out to be true?
Oh, that's a tough question. Austin is an incredibly authentic and unique city. In fact, what I love before taking the job, I love stopping in, talking to bartenders. Bartenders tell you everything that you need to know about a community. And so I can't say that I've been really surprised by anything. I think probably what's been the most surprising or challenging, again, from an economic development standpoint, is embracing growth while at the same time preserving what makes the city so unique. And that's real. I see this in communities all across the country, fears of gentrification, displacement. And so making sure that we're meticulous in preserving, celebrating the artists, the musicians, the local food operators, bringing them along with this growth. So maybe that's what surprised me, if anything.
Okay, gotcha. And what do you think your biggest challenges for the future, for the next, I don't know, on the near horizon? What's your biggest, oh man, we got to get this right?
I think a lot about, I obsess with construction mitigation. As I noted, we've got $20 billion of public infrastructure projects underway. Light rail, new highway expansion, roadway improvements, convention center construction. And so it's absolutely crucial from a management standpoint that I think about denying every potential visitor, every potential tenant, potential new resident the opportunity to say, you know what? I don't feel like going into downtown. It's just too much chaos.
Right.
I don't want to deal with, construction delays and detours. And so we absolutely have to get that right. I would say it's been a good effort so far, partnering with multiple agencies and even providing direct support to existing businesses. I'll give you one example. We recently launched what's called our Construction Impact Relief Grant. We have a local brewery that took advantage of the program. And so they used the grant funds to purchase new coffee equipment. That's allowed them to expand their hours to get customers in earlier during the day rather than just in the evening when there will be a lot more construction activity. Another existing business took advantage of the grant program. They hired a social media influencer. They purchased wayfinding signage. They hired a content creator to assist them. And so those are some of the ways, again, that we're deploying our programs and resources to lift people up and help them along the way.
Is your organization big into social media? Do you guys do a lot of that?
We do. I am not the cool kid in my office when it comes to social media. So we've got a team that handles all of that.
Yeah. So they're out and about kind of posting, TikTok, I guess, would be the big one.
Instagram, you name it. Yeah, they're out in the field doing giveaways, providing gift certificates to restaurants, hotel stays. They love it. Again, I am not the cool kid. I rely on them.
So they're highlighting, all the good work you're doing, but also just what's great about the city.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
One more question. First-time visitor to downtown Austin, what's the itinerary? What do you need to do?
Ooh, okay. Itinerary. First of all, I am going to send you to the Red River Cultural District.
Okay.
To visit any one of our incredible, music venues, nightclubs. You're also going to check out Waterloo Greenway, which is our new 1.9 urban trail system within downtown. It is absolutely gorgeous and spectacular. You're going to walk 6th Street, visit, again, some of the bars, entertainment venues, and you're going to eat.
Yes.
We've got so much food to offer you within downtown. So you've got a full itinerary, so come see us.
So the Waterline Greenway, does that run along the river there?
Yeah, it's called Waterloo Greenway.
Waterloo
Greenway. It flanks the eastern side of our downtown. It's an urban trail system. It's absolutely gorgeous. And so on June 6th, we'll open, our partners at Waterloo Conservancy will open the next phase of the Greenway. It is absolutely stunning. I'm going to get this wrong, but just the number of trees that have been planted. One will be able to walk from the northern portion of our district down to Lady Bird Lake along the trail system without ever having to cross a street. With the landscaping that's been placed, it will be 10 degrees cooler.
Oh my gosh.
So during the summer, it gets hot in Austin. And so we've got to provide some refuge. So it's going to be truly spectacular. And I would say it's also helped to incentivize and encourage new development along the Greenway. In fact, at the new Waterline Tower, there are new restaurants that will be moving in that have spectacular views of the Greenway. So sitting, in some of the outdoor patios, looking down in the new Greenway, it's just stunning.
I don't think many of our listeners needed convincing that downtown Austin was a place to be, but if they did, I'm sure you've convinced them. So Davon, thank you so much for joining me today.
James, thanks so much for having me.
And if you want to hear more interviews, retail insights, and conversations with fascinating people such as Davon, you can subscribe to Where We Buy on the iPhone podcast app. We're on Spotify. Wherever you get your podcasts, you can find us. And we're also on the web at wherewebuy.show. And that's a wrap.